Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Al Jazeera reports that global oil prices have surged by over 6%, reaching their highest levels in weeks, driven by concerns over prolonged supply disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz and fears of an extended U.S. siege of Iranian ports. U.S. crude settled at $106.88 per barrel, while Brent crude rose to $118.03. The ongoing two-month-long U.S.-Israel war on Iran and the blockade by Iranian forces in the Strait of Hormuz are contributing to the snarled fuel supplies. U.S. President Donald Trump met with oil executives to discuss strategies to minimize the impact on American consumers if the blockade continues for months, revealing the war has already cost the U.S. military $25 billion. An analyst noted that prospects for a near-term resolution to the Iran conflict remain dim, leading to significant economic impacts, especially in Asia-Pacific, where countries are heavily reliant on oil imports. The Asian Development Bank has cut its growth forecast for the region. Meanwhile, President Trump welcomed the UAE's withdrawal from OPEC, believing it would help lower gas and oil prices. However, experts believe the UAE's exit is unlikely to have an immediate market impact due to existing Strait of Hormuz constraints, and it will take months for Gulf countries to return to pre-war production levels. The U.S. aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. is set to depart the Middle East and return home in the coming days, Xinhua reported Wednesday, citing the Washington Post. This marks the end of a 10-month deployment for its roughly 4,500 sailors, which began on June 24 to end at 25. The Ford Carrier Strike Group had initially deployed to the U.S. European Command Area of Responsibility, then to Latin America for counter-narcotics operations, before being redirected to the Middle East amidst escalating tensions with Iran. The Ford's departure represents a significant loss of firepower in the region, especially as peace talks between the United States and Iran have stagnated. It was one of 3 carriers operating there, alongside the USS George H.W. Bush and USS Abraham Lincoln. Concurrently, online media Axios reported that President Donald Trump is scheduled to receive a briefing Thursday from the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, on potential new military actions against Iran. CENTCOM has reportedly prepared a plan for a short and powerful wave of strikes, possibly targeting infrastructure, in an effort to break the negotiating deadlock. The Republican-controlled House of Representatives on Wednesday voted to renew a powerful foreign surveillance program, Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, which was set to expire. Concurrently, lawmakers passed a Senate-approved budget resolution that paves the way for funding the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, currently in a record 74-day shutdown. The budget measure allows Republicans to bypass a Democratic filibuster in the Senate, potentially authorizing $70 billion for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and Border Patrol for the next 3 years. However, the day was marked by significant disarray, as conservative hardliners initially blocked a key procedural vote, delaying legislative priorities. Despite the turmoil, the House managed to advance these critical measures. A separate Senate-passed bill to fund other DHS agencies like FEMA, the Coast Guard, and TSA might also see a vote before the House recesses. This news comes from NBC4 Washington. Seoul, South Korea. The South Korean Defense Ministry announced on April 30th that there have been absolutely no discussions between Seoul and Washington regarding a potential reduction in the number of U.S. forces stationed in South Korea, USFK. This statement, reported by GG Press, came in response to recent remarks by U.S. President Trump about reducing American troops in Germany. A spokesperson for the ministry stressed that South Korea would continue to engage in close consultations with the U.S. to ensure the stable stationing of USFK and to strengthen their joint defense posture. The ministry is closely monitoring the situation, particularly given the ongoing advancements in North Korea's nuclear weapons program. The spokesperson noted that this context underscores the increasing necessity of extended deterrence, including the U.S. nuclear umbrella, and that the issue is also intricately linked with the transfer of wartime operational control (OPG) to South Korea. Al Jazeera reports that London police have released bodycam footage showing the arrest of a 45-year-old suspect following the stabbing of two Jewish men in Golders Green, North London. The footage captures officers deploying a taser to detain the knife-wielding individual. Authorities have confirmed that this attack is being investigated as a terrorist incident, specifically targeting the Jewish community. The incident highlights ongoing concerns about hate crimes and security for minority communities in the capital. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.